day. I mean, you have 500 plus yards of offense, had opportunities, had some momentum there in the fourth quarter right after that first quick score. But ultimately today, it just feels like some self-inflicted wounds. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's fair. We did have a lot of yards, but you got to put points on the board, especially early. We had the 3 turnovers in the first half that didn't allow us to get some points. And then there in the second half, we had some drives and some foolish penalties took us away. And then when we started getting some points there in the fourth quarter, you couldn't get a stop defensively. And so just disappointing. I give a lot of credit to Jax State. They played hard. They got some good play. Running back's a great, really, really good player. We couldn't tackle him. We struggled to do that. But we had some opportunities in this game to win it. We beat ourselves in some ways, as I mentioned already. And that's the disappointing thing is we had some chances and had a touchdown called back, missed a 15, 20-yard field goal, a chip shot. I mean, that's a 10-point swing right there. And, we had a chance to, win this game and get off to a good start. But unfortunately we didn't. So it gives us an opportunity to regroup and go back to work this coming week.
A lot of turnover on the offensive line coming into this game and then even during the course of this game. Injuries otherwise, how much did that factor into just some of the continuity or lack thereof at times for the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had some opportunities and then you're shuffling some guys around and those guys did well, but sometimes that didn't allow us to we had a play that we felt could work and we just didn't quite do it the way we need to and instead of being 1st and 10, it's 4th and 2. And so that's part of it, but at the end of the day, no matter who's in there, you got to perform. And we had opportunities to make some plays and didn't do it. And when we finally started doing it, we gave up 2 third and longs on defense there in the fourth quarter and a stupid penalty that's on the coaches. And couldn't get them off the field. We had momentum. They'd get it, and we'd take it back, and we couldn't get it stopped. And so, in the day, if we want to be a good team, we got to score points offensively. We got to get some stops on defense.
Average starting field position was at the 22-yard line. I think 5 times you were inside the 25 today. How much did that factor into?
I mean, that's part of it. We made some bad decisions back there at kick returner. We got a fair catch it. Their kicker did a really good job of hanging the ball up, it's part of it. If you have to drive that long, you have to execute a lot. That you got a chance not to execute, and so that anytime you fill positions like that, that's not something that allows you to have sustained success. And so we got to look at that and make some better decisions there. And and then when we get some momentum, we kick it off, we kick it out of bounds. We had a kicker get hurt, and we kicked it right out of bounds, and they start that last drive at the 35. So a lot of self-inflicted things that if we didn't do, maybe this is a different outcome.
They also tip your cap to them too. You mentioned Cook, their running back, ton of yards today.
Oh, really?
I know there was some frustration on the sideline with tackling, but you got to tip your cap too. He made some guys miss.
He's a great player. Yeah, he did. I think the most disappointing thing is we just didn't do a good job of game tackling. He's a guy you got to be able to get down with multiple people, and when we had opportunities to do that, he slipped away. Credit to him. He's a really, really good player. But also we got to do a better job there. And the disappointing thing is you get them in some 3rd and longs where that quarterback, that's not what their offense is made for, and we allowed them to get out of it. Twice. I think 3 times there in the last 2 drives. You're not going to win games doing that.
Injury-wise, we talked about CJ at halftime and Badowski on the O-line. He went out at one point. How did you get out of this one?
There's some injuries there. We got some guys that are banged up, and so we'll just have to see. But it looked like we lost some D linemen. Marcus Clark looked like he hurt himself there, so we look like we came out of it with some injuries. We'll have to see how we can respond to it when we get back to Lynchburg.
Coach, you talked in training camp a lot about needing your quarterback to protect the ball, second offensive play, turnover, and then another one later in the first half. Kind of played from behind from there. How difficult is it to try to overcome from those turnovers?
It is. It's hard. And he fought tooth and nail. But we've got to protect the ball. And there in the first half, the one interception was just a bad interception. It just looked right at the guy, and you got to be able to look guys off. And then the second one, the first one, just having a lower internal clock there. And so anytime we talked all week about getting off to a great start, and then you get the ball, they don't score, and then we're driving, get a good play, and we're driving, and you get the turnover. So we wanted to play from ahead, and we just couldn't do that. I thought that this game was going to come down some turnovers, and when you count the 4th down stop, and then we didn't get any from them, and that's the end of the day. If we gave up 3, we survived. If you think about it, we survived it in the first half, and you're a dang holding penalty, and we're going down 17-14. You know, and you feel like you're fine, and then we just weren't able to put it all together when we needed to there at the end.
You talked about it some, but the offense finally was stringing together drives, putting points on the board there in the fourth quarter, trying to make that comeback. Defense couldn't get the stop, specifically that 2nd and 20 after the holding. How frustrating is it for the defense not to get off the field?
It's terrible. I mean, just be honest, it's bad defense. You're 2nd and 20. We give up a play up the middle for about 12 yards, and then we try to do a substitution, which we shouldn't have. And so it was 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, and we get a penalty, and it goes 3rd and 4. And so, and they convert, and then we get another 3rd and 7 on the same drive, and then they convert. And so that's nothing they did. That's all us. And so, end of the day, I think we felt like if we could get the ball back, we could go, tied up. We felt confident they're moving the ball offensively there in the fourth quarter. But it's one of those things where, as you're on the road in conference, and you got to make sure you do the things that don't beat you yourselves. And again, that's a coach's penalty, and that beat us, that killed us there from that standpoint. And those other, you mentioned turnovers and the other things. Those are things that that we could have not done. Some of the penalties were just foolish, and we could have not done those.
Thank you, Coach.